Hello, country people. Two soldiers who were implicated in the kidnap of the Methodist Church Nigeria prelate, His Eminence Samuel Kanuche, has been arrested. The prelate, along with Methodist Bishop of Owerri Diocese, Right Reverend Dennis Mark, and the prelate's chaplain were on Sunday, May 29, 2022, kidnapped in Umunochi, local government area of Abia State. His Eminence Uche later told journalists at Methodist Church Yaba, Lagos State, that their abductors were Fulani, alleging that some personnel of the Nigerian Army of Fulani extraction were aiding the kidnappers in their activities, according to prelate. But the irony of it, where they were situated, the soldiers of all Fulani extraction, Nigerian soldiers, they were there at Lomara Junction, and these boys were going behind them. Meanwhile, they kept their cows somewhere, numbering about 200. However, indicators have emerged that some suspects involved in the abduction have been nabbed by Nigerian police operatives from Zone 9 headquarters, Umuahia, Abia State. Sources had earlier said that the break into the case occurred some days ago when one of the prime suspects was picked up at the bank as he made deposit of his own share of 20 million naira of the ransom paid by the Methodist Church for the release of the prelate and two other clergy with him. After a preliminary investigation, he is said to have implicated two serving soldiers in his confession. Sources say that the two soldiers have been arrested and may have been moved to Abuja for further investigations. The prime suspect, who is an Okada rider, is from the same village in Enugu State as kidnapped prelate and may have been the mastermind who recruited others, including criminal headers, to carry out the abduction. Well, can you imagine people who are supposed to protect you are the ones now working with kidnappers to kidnap you? Are we not finished in this country? And the way it is these days, those guys don't fear anything or consequences. They rob in churches and kidnap men of God, and even kidnap a bishop for that matter. Meanwhile, nobody should be kidnapped. It has gotten so bad, and the worst is that foreigners from other countries will come into our country from the northern borders, enter the south, and begin to kidnap southerners in their own land. We are in a serious trouble when our people are all pushed for anti-open grazing and Fulani copying our forest. Even the federal government seems to be making attempts at protecting them in our forests. Despite the law, they still moved cattle freely in and out and even in the streets and threatened the indigenous people. Severally, the federal government has protected the criminals and even made several attempts to stop us from self-defense by trying to withdraw our guns while the marauders are free to carry on with their own gun and continue their nefarious activities. Like what was revealed, the worst is that Fulani soldiers are part of this business. This is happening in the name of one Nigeria. These days, when we hear news that security operatives have arrested or apprehended such criminals, we don't even marvel anymore, because we have records of them being freed, including being given back their weapons. It appears there is an agenda against our people. The earlier we make arrangements for our own security, the better for us. But here is something to note. Some of the times, these people work with some of the native people in the land. They connive to achieve their aims. Some of these people act as informants. Some of these people are even masterminds, so trust nobody. People do various things to make their living.